Hey everybody, welcome back. Ready for some more vinyl. I'm going to make this one short, as I will the ones that are going to be following this one are going to be shorter so I can get more out. But let's go ahead and start with this great gem. I think from 1972. This is the second album by Alex Taylor. This is called Dinner Time. If you like James Taylor's song Steamroller, this is right up your alley. Some really good Southern blues rock. And I love this cover because he's enjoying his breakfast of champions, which is watermelon and moonshine. And when was the last time you went to the store and bought a watermelon that had seeds in it? Talk about the nostalgia file. Coming up in 1980, Steely Dan released Gaucho. Let's see if we get no glare there. The first single released from this was Hey 19. And I remember hearing the DJ saying, I can't believe we waited 3 years to hear this garbage. And it's not really fair, even though I think Hey 19 is not the best song on the album. It's by no means garbage. I think people had high expectations coming off of Asia. But in its own right, this is a superb album. Probably one of the best albums I've ever heard. Steely Dan does not shy away from controversial subjects. We have The Glamour Profession, which is a song about dealing drugs. The line, illegal fun under the sun, alludes to that. Hey 19, a song about an older man who likes a woman so young that she doesn't know who Aretha Franklin is. And then we have Glamour Profession. I'm sorry I said that already. Babylon Sisters. Babylon, of course, being a harlot. And I think you can figure out what profession the Babylon Sisters are involved in. And then we have the song Time Out of Mind, which is also deals with drugs, where it talks about chasing the dragon and the temporary high likened to water changing to wine and silver turning to gold. And but despite the controversial lyrics, this is a great album. It's got some superb musicians on it. Tom Scott, David Sanborn, Rick Derringer, Mark Knopfler, and of course Donald Fagen and Walter Becker teaming up for a masterful album. So check out Gaucho if you get a chance. Let's deviate a little bit. Let's go to Misfits. I'm a big fan of what I like to call Halloween rock. This is like, for example, The Damned. Between the early career when they were doing hardcore punk until when they got really sophisticated, there was a period of time where they sounded, they had a particular sound, which is kind of, upbeat type of rock songs. This is something that you would probably hear at somebody's Halloween party. This is the Misfits, Zombie Girl and Vampire Girl, 12-inch single. So if you like The Damned during that early, that period which I referred to earlier, you should like the Misfits. Jeff Beck, this is a twofer. This is The Truth and Beckola. Rod Stewart, Ron Wood, and of course Jeff Beck on guitar. Just an outstanding set of music. And I believe this cover is based off the art, or maybe it is actually the art of Rene Magritte, and it's called The Listening Room, I believe. But check this out when you get a chance. Jeff Beck is a superb guitarist. From Peter Gabriel's, I think, third solo album, this is a 12-inch single from Melt, which contains songs you probably can't get anywhere else, including the Jetzt kommt die Flut, which is German for Now Comes the Flood. Pretty good stuff. Speaking of which, his third solo album, this is Scratch. And I think all the Peter Gabriel solo stuff, this one is most reminiscent of his work with Genesis when they were doing really good progressive rock. So check this one out. This is Peter Gabriel's Scratch. I think I've showed those before, but I got multiple copies. From 1976, we have Blue Oyster Cult's Agents of Fortune. And it contains their suicide anthem, Don't Fear the Reaper, which is just an incredibly good song. I like that song so much that it took me several years before I listened to the rest of the album, but it's a really good album. If you get a chance, try that. I believe in 1984 or 85 or something, this is Black Sabbath's Born Again. And I believe the lead singer to this one was, of course, not Ozzy Osbourne, but it was Jan Gillan, and I believe he sang for Deep Purple. But this is Born Again. And look at this, what a transition, right? Cyndi Lauper, She Bop. It's fun music, but play those records back to back and see what kind of reaction you get from your friends. From 77 or 78, this is Bachman Turner's Overdrive, Street Action. Not bad. I miss Randy Bachman, and of course he's not singing on this one. But it's a pretty good record. But I enjoy this one here even more. This is Rock and Roll Nights. I think it came out in 79 or 78. And I love that cover. This woman here is a pig. I mean, look at her room. You know, she probably smells awful, but that's a girl after my own heart. Not a bad record. Jamaica is a really good song, and this is the song that opens this album. So you might want to check that out. Laura Nyro's first album, I think if you get it on CD, it's called The First Songs. And she wrote a lot of music that was later covered by Barbra Streisand and The Fifth Dimension. And a great pianist, songwriter, and singer. She had a very soft yet strong voice, so check her out, Laura Nyro. On this Rod Stewart album, Smiler, the only thing I can say about this is Little Richard would be proud. This is some really good old-fashioned rock music, the kind of stuff that I enjoy hearing Rod Stewart singing with his strident vocals. I've shown this before. This is Santana's first album. This is what happens when you're bored, you're listening to great music, and you got some markers. I decided to color this cover. I hope George would like that if he sees it. But I do recommend this record for some good hard rock. I talked about Yes before, and I came across this one. This is their first album. This is the American cover. The British cover, I believe, is just this right here, but larger. Very good record. Like I said, the first 5 albums from Yes are just fantastic. And this is classic Yes, and it is what it is, a collection of some of their early stuff. My buddy, YouTube buddy Cameron mentioned I showed this record before, the Blues Magoos, and I kind of glossed over it. But what I want to point out is this album is called Never Going Back to Georgia, and they have a really good cover of Heartbreak Hotel on this. The only other cover of Heartbreak Hotel I heard that was much better, believe it or not, is John Cale. So when you get a chance, check out John Cale's version of Heartbreak Hotel. Don't know much about this, but I discovered this recently. This is Orion the Hunter, and I believe 2 members of Boston were responsible for helping out on this album. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm going to. Let me know if you think it's any good. Let's move quickly on. I got Joan Baez. This is a love song album. Joan Baez is a great singer, songwriter. I believe Judas Priest covered one of her songs. Is it Rust? Something about Rust? Love or Dust? I don't know. I should have researched it before I brought it up. I'll let you know what it is called down here. And I think from 1984, I believe, this is the Scorpions, Love at First Sting, with that great rock anthem, Rock You Like a Hurricane. Can't beat the Scorpions for, I think, 1984. Can't beat the Scorpions for great album covers and great music. I'm going to talk a little bit about this album. This is Pogue's Love and Peace. This one came out, I think, in 89. They're from Ireland. Lead singer Shane MacGowan, I believe his name. He's got a great voice. And I remember when I first bought this record, the opening song was just a musical number. And I said, I hope somebody sings because I like the way Irish people talk. And sure enough, the following song is a song called White City. Not only is it the best song on this album, but it's probably one of the best songs by the Pogues and my top 20 favorite songs of all time. It's called White City. And this is Peace and Love. And if you know something interesting about the cover, he's got Peace and Love tattooed on his fingers. What is so strange about that? I'll let you think about it. And finally, we have from 1972 or something, 77, whatever. It's from the 70s. This is Beaver Teeth. It's a very good record. I didn't discover them until recently. And they're Southern rock, but they have a little touch of R&B in there. And so I really enjoy this record, and I think you will too if you listen. All right, that's it. Don't have my cameraman today, so I just had to do the solo. If there's something you want to see more of, if you have any questions or suggestions, let me know. Thank you.